Good morning. Is this
Good morning. Is this Samantha?
this is how are you?
I'm great.
Good.
Thanks for calling.
Yes, you're welcome. Thanks for taking the time to speak with us today on Country Music Minute. So just
Of course.
thank you. Yeah, just so everyone knows, you're all the way in Nashville right now, and we have Jamie Meyer on the phone with us. Yes. So it's afternoon there for you, right?
It is 12. Yeah, it's noon.
It's noon, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's morning here in LA, so I'm just getting started with my day. But
Wow.
go
I
ahead.
remember early mornings in LA.
You what?
I do remember early mornings in LA. It's beautiful when the traffic hasn't started yet, really. That's the best time with LA.
It is. And you know what? Everyone's gone to Coachella this weekend, so I'm hoping nobody will be on the streets.
Don't go. It's dangerous.
I know.
Is it already over, or is it supposed to happen this week?
It starts this weekend and then next weekend, and then we have the country scene, Stagecoach. So we're gearing up for Stagecoach.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. You have some nice festivals over there. It's really cool.
We do. Well, you'll just have to come out here and sing for us one day.
Oh yeah, that'd be lovely.
Yeah.
Let's tell all the bookers to book me for next year.
Exactly. Well, you're all the way from Nashville, but even farther away from that, right? You're from Sweden?
Yeah, I was born in Sweden, and I started to go to the States around 2000, 2001, going back and forth a little bit. And I stayed I studied at Musicians Institute in LA. So my LA story started 2007, I guess. I was out there for a couple of years and played and recorded some.
Nice. And
yeah.
so you were actually in LA before traveling to Nashville.
Oh yeah, many years before, and I always thought about Nashville. I always had it in the back of my mind, but it didn't really came true. But until 2012, I was opening for Lady Antebellum, as you may have heard of, and they really encouraged me, and I became really good friends with their personal trainer actually, and she invited me to come to Nashville, and it was great, and showed me around a little bit, and just get started here in this town, because I really didn't know anybody before up to that point when I was traveling with Lady Antebellum.
Yeah, so you came here from Sweden all by yourself, right?
All by myself.
All by yourself.
Not even with my guitar. I had to borrow a guitar here.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
well, I'm a huge fan of Lady Antebellum. They're actually one of my favorite bands. Tell us what it was like to tour with them.
Well, it was an eye opener, and it was. I mean, they're so good live, and their stage show, the blew everybody away. And I remember it was a very rock and roll show. You would think that they rarely had any country elements as far as the music goes. There was just guitars, keyboards, drums, bass, and great vocals, and they put on a rock show. So I mean, and I was opening for them in Sweden and Norway, and we played for about, I don't know, maybe to them only 2,000 or 2,500 seats. So I can only imagine how their concert looks like here in the States with 10,000 plus in the audience.
Yeah, so you were with them from the very beginning, correct? You said?
No. I mean, they were huge when I toured with them, but they've just started to, their single "Need You Now" was starting to get really noticed in Europe and Sweden. So that was a big hit over in Europe, and that made them, I guess, come to Sweden and play.
I've actually never seen them perform live, but they are definitely on my to-do list bucket to see. Like I said, I love them, and I think it's so awesome that we have you on the phone, and that you were able to open and tour with them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Life is weird sometimes. I saw them open for Keith Urban in 2009 at Staples Center. And and a couple of years later, I was opening for them in my hometown. We started the first show I played with them was in my hometown. Everybody, my friends and my mom was there, and everybody was there to see me. So that's even. I mean, it's even more frightening to play in your hometown, I think, than for people you don't know.
Definitely. Well, I mean, it sounds like you're already touring with Lady Antebellum. You've already got some big stuff under your belt. Tell us a little bit. You said they're popular in Sweden, Norway. What is the country music scene like over there?
As far as live goes, a lot of big artists are coming there now. I've already seen Brad Paisley 2 times. I saw him maybe just 2 weeks ago. He played in Stockholm, and I've seen Rascal Flatts. I was lucky to open for Leon Rimes last year at a country festival. So a lot of artists are coming there.
Yeah.
Trace Adkins has been there. I know that too. But as far as commercial radio, country's not really happening on the radio. It's still pretty.
It's still on the rise.
So that needs to become bigger, I guess, before they can get really the big audience to come out and see it, because it is a lot of fans in Sweden. There's a lot of country fans in Sweden, but that's to get the minority out, I guess.
Yeah, that's interesting to me. I've always kind of wondered what it was like, in different areas, whether, because I'm from North Carolina, and I was surprised when I moved out here that the country scene in Southern California is popular, and it's growing ever more, and there's a lot of fans out here who love country music, and we have, like I said, Stagecoach. There's the Oak Country Music Festival coming up, which is a smaller festival in June. So there's a lot of country fans out here. So I love it because it brings a little piece of home. Just being so far away.
I didn't really notice that thing because I was too much in the Hollywood area because I was going to school. So, but now a couple of years later, I know as soon as you go outside a little bit from Hollywood, there's a big audience for it. I mean, even as close as going down to like I wrote you when I played at Wits End in Venice.
Yeah, I've not.
So there are. I mean,
go ahead.
No, I'm just saying you have to look for it, and it's so enormously large out there. So the fans are definitely. I just happened to be at the wrong place.
Yeah.
And I had to be near school, and there wasn't too many country fans in Hollywood. But you have to go outside a little bit, and that's what I did last year, which was great. It was probably one of the best shows I ever did in LA.
That's
coming back.
Yeah, that is actually one of the main reasons why I decided to start this blog, because like I said, I'm a huge country fan, and there aren't many places out here. So my goal is to find those places and find those artists, new and upcoming artists, that are playing at these small venues, like you said, in Venice, that people, don't know about. So, I'm hoping with Country Music Minute that we can kind of make that platform for the fans to go to and kind of figure out where these artists are going to be playing and just get them more familiar with, the country artists that we do have here.
Right.
Yeah, I know you just had your latest single come out. It's called Can't Stop Now, right?
Correct.
Yeah, tell the fans a little bit, about your song, what it's about, and what inspired you to write this?
Well, I was in the mood to write a fun up tempo song. and I got together with my friend, a writer in Sweden, and we wrote I think we did it all down, and the most of it in one afternoon. And I just brought it to my producer, and we started collaborating a little bit with some modern, more of a like a modern sound. I wanted to sound a little more up to date, I guess, and I think and combining that with I mean, I got one legendary guy out here called Bruce Bounton. He's in Reba McEntire's band, and he plays steel on the song, and so I like to have. I think it's a mix. It sounds it's very poppy, but it's also got the country elements and also classic rock elements, which I listened to when I was younger too. So I think it was a perfect song to show people the new sound that I'm creating. I guess it was although we did release a single last year, "Young Again," which even has more to a bit like almost R&B influence, with drum loops and an LA artist, actually, LA hip hop artist Jensen Reed. He's featured on that song. So
oh, nice.
I just wanted to work on some new sound, I guess, for this forthcoming album. I'm working on a forthcoming album, but right now just releasing one or two songs at a time.
One or two, yeah. Well, you definitely have a very
testing
the waters. Is that what you said? Yeah. Well, you definitely have a very authentic voice, and a sexy accent. It's funny that you're from Sweden and you have this accent and you sing country well. It doesn't even, when you're singing, it doesn't even sound, you don't hear your accent at all, I don't think. But it's kind of funny. You remind me of Keith Urban with your hair, and I used to be a huge fan of him back in the 90s kind of, and he with his long haircut, you resemble him, and with the accent, it's funny. Do you ever get that?
I hear it's funny because sometimes people say Keith Urban, sometimes people say John Mellencamp, and Bryan Adams, Bon Jovi, and it's all over the map, which is great. And we had to remember that Keith Urban did one thing, and he opened a lot of doors for an artist, I think. Yeah. Even though Shania Twain, she's from Canada, so I don't know if that counts as for an artist too much here. But just imagine 20 years ago in the country scene here. I think it was even listening to or seeing interviews with Keith Urban, and he had to struggle for years and years to break the country scene just because he's from Australia and had this other vibe about him and the accent. And I mean, he opened a lot of doors, and I think that's great.
Yeah,
he was the first.
He was.
Really, I guess.
I love his stuff. He's made a huge impact in the country music world, I think. I feel like recently, with his "We Were Us" with Miranda Lambert, I love that song. I feel like he's just he kind of went away there for a little while, and I'm glad he's coming back. But so why don't you tell your fans, since where we can catch a copy of your new single? I know you said it was on SoundCloud and iTunes.
It's on iTunes, and it's on Spotify.
Okay.
And on YouTube as well. But I would Spotify and iTunes probably the easiest way to get it, I think.
Spotify and iTunes. Okay. Yeah, well, check him out. He's on, like we said, Spotify, iTunes. You're on Facebook. I found you on Twitter. Jamie reached out to me.
I found you on Twitter.
Yeah, you found me on Twitter. That's right. No, and I'm glad you did, because I've been listening to your stuff all week and getting ready for this interview, and I actually
cool.
I really enjoy your music. Yeah, I wouldn't have you on today if I didn't. But one more thing, I was looking up, you also have a 3-day Southern tour coming up. Do you want to plug that and kind of tell your fans where that's going to take place?
Sure. We're going to Memphis on May 2nd. The venue is yet to be announced, but we're just looking at it where I'm going to play. You know, because basically it's just me and my guitar and my little drum machine. So we're looking at a venue, and then I'm playing at JB's in Holly Springs, Mississippi. Never been there before, and then I'm back to Nashville to play at the Basement on May 6th with my friend Bruce as well. We'll probably do play, or maybe I'll bring in a couple other guys to play with me. But yeah, I love traveling in the States, and I love seeing all the small towns in the States, and I just, yeah,
Yeah.
I love to travel. I love to see all corners of the States, so that's going to be great.
Nice. Well, if you are ever back in LA, please hit us up at Country Music Minute, and we would love to meet you in person. It's been great talking with you today. Good luck with everything.
Sure, yeah.
I'm very excited to see, you know, where you head in the country music world. Like I said, you know, you've got a very authentic voice, and I'm excited for what's to come for you in this industry. So, if I could just,
I'm excited too, man, to see where I end up one day. You never know.
you never know, right?
Right.
Yeah, well, if I could just have you sign off and say I'm Jamie Meyer with Country Music Minute, that would be awesome.
Okay, this is Jamie Meyer with you're listening to Country Music Minute.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.